Hello, welcome to Kinda Keto with Donna. I'm Donna. It's that time of year that I love. So I'm very excited to go into another season of fall and winter and holidays and all that fun stuff. All the things that I enjoy. Yes, I admit it. I'm one of those pumpkin people. Those people who just love pumpkin spice everything and fall and the colors and all of that. So I get anything that says pumpkin or apple. So I've got caramel. What do I have? Caramel pumpkin soap. I've got pumpkin latte body spray. I got my pumpkin mug. I just love it. I was recently at TJ Maxx, and they always have the good deals on the Jordan Skinny Syrup. I don't have a lot of those, but as soon as I started seeing the fall flavors, I had to definitely pick this one up. Pumpkin caramel, only $3.99 to go in my pumpkin mug. And I just picked up something at Walmart I was looking for actually last year. This is some cinnamon apple spice tea. I'm trying to find caramel apple because it is mostly for a recipe I want to make. I want to make apple cider donuts. Keto version, of course. But anyway, this one is also good for just relaxing at night. This little herbal tea. I'm wearing my pumpkin colored shirt. I even like my clothes to go with the season. And I've even made my fall tote, and I love pulling that out every year. My little fall colors. I never could find this fabric again. I just love it. This is something that I've made and I pull out every year. So a little context. I am from New Jersey, and I don't know if you've heard what a halfback is. Those are people who go from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, down to Florida, and then go, oh, well, I don't want it too cold. I miss the seasons, but I don't want too much snow or too cold, so I'm going to move halfway back. Hence, halfback. And once I moved to North Carolina, which I love, I'm in the western part of North Carolina with the beautiful mountains around us. Once I moved there, I definitely want to embrace all the seasons. I'm more of a fall, winter person, but I have learned to enjoy the other seasons as well. It's not too severe here. We just love it. And I like to do food and drinks and that kind of thing that celebrate every season. I love lemon blueberry in spring and summer, and of course, lots of holiday stuff. I love comfort foods in the winter, and I like refreshing ice creams and smoothies and different things for the summer. But now comes my favorite time. So I am going to take you along with me through several videos of the different kinds of items that I will be making for the fall. In a future video, I may try doing, I was dying to try this faux apple pie, just out of curiosity. If you haven't heard what that is, I won't spoil it. But it is an apple pie that is good on keto and has the flavors of apple pie. So I may be doing that in a future video. Two new ones I'm going to try. I have not tried these before. I'm dying to try. And I was going to do it last year, and I just never got around to it. So for you, and for me, I'm going to make a keto spiced apple donuts and keto pumpkin donuts. I actually never made donuts, and I got these silicone pans for something else, and I didn't like it for what I had it for, and I'm going to make some donuts with it. So I'm going to bring you along with me on that one for today. So join me today for our experiments with the two different kinds of donuts for the fall. And let's see how they come out. Hopefully they're good because I'm dying to try it. Okay, one of the recipes I'm going to try is a new recipe for keto apple spice donuts. I was trying to do this last year and I never got around to it. So I found this recipe. It is on Pinterest from Conscious Keto, and I will leave a link to the description. And we're going to try it today and see how it comes out. The ingredients we're going to need is our almond flour, our erythritol, so granular swerve or Lakanto, the monk fruit, probably either of those would work. Some baking powder, gotta have some cinnamon, And we got some sea salt. We have a 1/4 cup, aka 4 tablespoons of butter. I do try to get the pure Irish butter, the Kerrygold. We get really good deals at Walmart, or that's the best deals, and I like the sticks. So that's the Kerrygold unsalted butter. We're going to melt that later so you don't have to worry about having it softened ahead of time. Okay, we got also some almond milk. We've got 2 large eggs. I try to get the pasture-raised organic eggs, but whatever you can afford. And we got a little pure vanilla extract. And that's your basic recipe and a couple bonus things. So I'm having a dickens of a time trying to find apple extract locally. I just wasn't sure I wanted to buy a whole thing on Amazon, so I'm going to see how this comes out this way. So I have some cinnamon apple spice herbal tea. I was looking for caramel apple. I thought that might be a little bit better flavor, but I think either one would work. So I am trying this. Unfortunately, this recipe calls for the extract, so I'm going to kind of experiment with how to get enough flavor out of the tea bags. So as we speak, I am steeping a couple tea bags, and we are going to add that to the recipe. And lastly, not an ingredient, but a tool, we have this silicone donut pan mold. Am I saying that right? I actually have never made donuts yet, any type of keto or low-carb donuts. I got these for making bagels, but I did not like the way they came out. They were too small to put in there, and when they rose higher, and then they kind of spilled over, so it just looked stupid. And I can do a link to my bagel video where I hand form the fathead dough bagels, and they come out much better, and they fluff out a lot nicer. So I do have these molds, and I've never got a chance to use them. So I am going to try some donut recipes and share them with you. So here's my experiment part. So I'm going to take the apple spice tea. I did 2 bags, and I boiled it. I did some hot water, put the 2 bags in, steeped for 10 minutes. Took the bags out, and now I thought I'd just let it boil down a little bit more. Also, I did see somewhere else about boiling it down to almost like 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to let this go for 10 minutes and see how it goes. Because you don't want to have too much liquid that's going to change the whole consistency of the donuts. And it only calls for a small amount of the apple extract. So I think it's best to boil this down some. And we'll see if I'm right. Okay, so I'm checking on my tea, or my soon-to-be apple cinnamon extract. And I started with a cup, and look, oh yeah. So I think I'm going to stop about there. Okay, I just finished sifting my dry ingredients. I do like to sift. Actually, I just washed this already because I noticed the clip was showing a picture of the ceiling. So I had to redo this clip. Anyway, so I sift my dry ingredients mostly because my almond flour I keep in the refrigerator and or freezer, depending on how much I have on hand. So sometimes they can get clumped. So in the larger bowl, I sifted together 1 cup of almond flour, 1/3 cup of the sweetener you're going to use, 2 teaspoons of the baking powder, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and just 1/8 of a teaspoon or just a pinch of salt. Okay, next bowl, a little smaller bowl, we're going to whisk together our wet ingredients. We've got our melted butter. Ooh, don't you feel like a lobster now? All right, get all that butter in there. 1/4 cup of the unsweetened almond milk. You got your 2 eggs. 2 eggs. And some vanilla. We got 1 teaspoon of vanilla. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And we're going to whisk that together. Whiskey, 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 whiskey. Whiskey. There's no whiskey in here. There's no alcohol in here. Alrighty. I have high hopes for this recipe. I'm excited. I hope it comes out good. We're going to get the wet ingredients and mix them in with the dry ingredients. Okay. His optional ingredient was a half a teaspoon of the apple extract. So here is my reduced down tea. So I'm going to do, let's just do a teaspoon of the tea. So that part's the experiment, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, did read definitely to have your, whatever pan you're going to be using, very well coated. I'm going to take an extra step to make sure I got it on the sides there. I got to put a rubber glove on and just to make sure it's coated really good all around the little protrusion. Fun word. All right, just try to cover the bases. This recipe does make 6 donuts. Purposely looking for a recipe that was not so much a dough that you squish in there, but more of a batter. And that's why I picked this one, because I wanted to try this little trick of putting it in the Ziploc bag and swirling it around. So we're going to see how that goes. So I've put it in my Ziploc bag. And I'm going to make a little hole. And we'll see if it comes out all over the kitchen sink. You don't want too small holes, not like sour cream or something. You know, you do want to fill up, but let's start small. I can always add to it. All right, so let's see how we do. Ooh, ooh, yeah, it comes out pretty fast. Start on the lower end. We can always add to it because you don't want to usually overfill. Whee! Kind of fun. Well, that made a lot more than I had planned on. So I figured if it was 6, I'd have a couple, my husband have a couple, maybe put 2 in the freezer. So now, if they come out okay, we're going to bring some to work. So my work friends get a little treat. So I am now going to put this in an oven for 350 degrees for 22 to 28 minutes, it says. Of course, always check your oven. And it does say for a silicone pan that it might be a little bit longer. So I'm going to set a timer for 22 minutes and we'll go from there. All right, well, they popped out of the molds really easily and very nice, didn't fall apart. They definitely look good. Now I know why they made so many. Maybe my mold is just a little small, but maybe that's a good thing, so portion control. So to top this all off, we got a little melted butter and we've got a little cinnamon sugar mix. I chose the Lakanto monk fruit for this part, and a little cinnamon. So I think it was a half a cup of the sugar and a teaspoon of the cinnamon. And we're going to dunk the donuts into the butter and the cinnamon sugar mixture, and that's going to really finish them off. So let's see. All right, here we are, finished product, getting ready to taste it. Considering I have not made this recipe before. So got my little pumpkin. Got my placemat with my fall colors. And the star of the show, apple cider donuts, keto version. All right, here goes. Apple cider donut. It's kind of small. So maybe I can have 2. Ooh, that is good. I'm really surprised. It's got a great cakey texture. Doesn't fall apart. Even when I was putting the butter on and in the cinnamon and sugar. Oh, I think this is a winner. We're going to add that to the Bible. All right. Well, if I can do it, you can do it. So try this recipe. Okay. Now for the macros part of it. According to Conscious Keto, their recipe, which again I'm going to leave a link to, this is supposed to make 6 donuts. They must have had a much bigger pan than I did, so mine did come out a little smaller. So I revamped the macros. So for 11 donuts, so I added everything up and then divided it by 11. For 11 donuts at 13 grams of fat, 10.1 grams of total carbs, 1.09 grams of fiber. Sugar alcohols is 7.64. Net carbs then will be 1.64 per donut. And protein is 3.27. And calories, 143 calories. So for this size, for 1.64 net carbs, I'm doing 2. I promised you 2 recipes in this video, but it seemed like it was getting a little bit long, so I'm going to cut it here with the keto apple spice donuts. But I am going to be doing another video very shortly for the pumpkin donuts, which I think I'm going to do a maple glaze on. And whenever I air this, if I have it already made, I will send a link to it, but otherwise, I'll keep an eye out for it. And I'll see you soon. Well, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Definitely try this. Leave me a comment if you do try it, or if you're considering trying it, or if you like the idea of keto apple cider donuts. Subscribe, leave me a comment, give it a like, do it all. All right, until next time, bye.